You won't believe the statistics that are absolutely breaking the internet right now because honestly, they look more like a glitch in the matrix than actual census data. While most of us are just trying to decide what to binge watch next, thousands of people are making a much bigger, much more permanent choice every single day. They are packing up their entire lives, taping up endless cardboard boxes, and saying a very loud, very public goodbye to the places they've called home for years. We are witnessing a literal mass exodus, a shift in the American landscape so dramatic that it is basically the biggest, messiest breakup in national history. Seriously, it's like half the country decided to ghost their landlords and their high-tax lifestyles at the exact same time. And where are they all heading? Well, there's one specific destination that has officially become the it girl of the US map, and she is absolutely glowing right now with that undeniable main character energy. We are talking about the rise of the ultimate it states, the stars of the show like Texas and Florida, which are leaving traditional giants like California and New York in the dust. It's wild to watch the power shift in real time, isn't it? For decades, places like NYC and California were the undisputed champions of the American dream. They were the trendsetters, the dream makers, and the top of the cultural food chain. But lately, the vibe has shifted in a major way. The X's, as we're calling those high-cost, high-stress states, are suddenly looking a lot less like a dream and a lot more like a toxic relationship that people are desperate to escape. People are finally tired of the drama and are trading in their tiny, cramped NYC closets and overpriced lattes for something much, much shinier. This isn't just a minor trend or a handful of families moving for a new job opportunity. This is a full-blown migration scandal that is shaking the foundations of the country. Every single day, thousands of people are crossing state lines with one-way tickets and a dream of a better, more affordable life. It's the kind of movement that makes you stop and wonder, what exactly is the secret sauce? Is there something in the water in the South and the Sun Belt that's making everyone lose their minds and pack their bags? Before we dive into the juicy details and spill the tea on why this is happening, I want to take a quick second to check in with you. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Are you currently living in one of the states everyone is fleeing, or are you already settled in the new it state watching the moving trucks roll in? Because let me tell you, the visual of this chaos is nothing short of legendary. Imagine driving through a once quiet suburban street and seeing sold out signs on every single corner like it's a high demand concert tour. It's a logistical nightmare out there. Finding a U-Haul in some parts of California is like trying to find a parking spot in Midtown Manhattan. Nearly impossible. People are literally paying a massive premium just for the privilege of leaving. It feels like a fever dream. But the moving trucks stretched across the highways are the ultimate receipts that this movement is real. But here's the real question, why now? Why is everyone suddenly obsessed with the same few zip codes? You might think it's just about the sunshine, but there is so much more happening behind the scenes. We are talking about a massive cultural and financial glow-up that has transformed these states from quiet underdogs into absolute powerhouses. There's a sense of freedom and a fresh start vibe that is becoming totally addictive. People are looking at their bank accounts, looking at their square footage, and realizing they've been settling for a mid-lifestyle for too long. The stakes have never been higher. This isn't just about changing an address. It's about a fundamental shift in the identity of the nation. It's about Gen Z influencers looking for the perfect aesthetic for their Move With Me vlogs, and tech bros looking for a place where their salary actually buys a mansion. It's a gamble, a massive leap of faith into a new era. So I have to ask, if you had the chance to leave everything behind, the high taxes and the tiny spaces, to move to the trendiest, fastest growing spot in the country, would you do it, or would you stay put and watch the drama unfold? The main character energy is shifting, and the map is being redrawn. This is only the beginning of the story, and the reasons behind this surge are even more scandalous than you might think. So let's talk about the profile of our undisputed protagonist. Whether we're staring at the palm tree-lined vibes of Florida or the everything is bigger ego of Texas, these places have basically become the ultimate celebrities of the American map. For a long time, they were the quiet underdogs where your grandparents went to retire, but boy, did they have a major glow-up. They've spent the last decade building a reputation for being the land of the way more for your money. Well, it's that magnetic it girl energy, the kind that makes you wonder why you're still sitting in a cold apartment in the Northeast. They have this certain swagger, a confidence that comes from knowing everyone wants a piece of what they've got. But every new romance starts with a messy breakup, and in this story, the exes are looking pretty bitter. We're talking about California and New York, the former heavyweight champions. For decades, they were the ones everyone wanted to date, but lately, the relationship has turned totally toxic. Imagine staying with someone who takes half your paycheck and gives you a closet to sleep in. That's the vibe right now. The taxes are through the roof, and people are finally realizing they don't have to settle for barely surviving just for a zip code. It's a classic case of it's not me, it's you. And don't think it's just retirees looking for a sunny golf course anymore. The new arrivals are a whole different breed of main characters. We're seeing Gen Z influencers setting up ring lights in Austin, and tech bros trading Silicon Valley hoodies for cowboy boots. It's a literal invasion of the young and the hungry. These people are looking for a lifestyle glow-up that actually makes sense. Why struggle to pay rent in San Francisco when you can own a mansion with a pool where the sun actually shines? Young families are leading the charge too, ditching cramped Brooklyn for a suburban dream that actually has room for a backyard. This isn't just a population boom, it's a cultural revolution. Our it states have transformed from sleepy flyover territory into powerhouses of entertainment and business. Suddenly, the coolest music festivals and the most viral restaurants aren't happening in Manhattan. They're happening in the heart of the Sun Belt. These states have become the new frontier for anyone who wants to build something new without being weighed down by decades of red tape and boring old rules. Watching these states take center stage is like watching an indie movie star suddenly win an Oscar. They've gone from being the rebound choice to the permanent commitment. If you need proof that the vibe has shifted, look at the receipts from the celebrity world. We're talking massive names and companies publicly swiping right on these states and making it very official. When giants like Tesla or Oracle move their headquarters to Texas, it's not just a business move, it's a massive cultural statement. High-profile actors and legendary entrepreneurs are ditching their Hollywood hills for places where they can actually keep more of their cash and enjoy a little more breathing room. It's the ultimate endorsement, and it's sending a clear message. The party has officially moved, and if you aren't there yet, you're missing out. But hold on, because every drama needs a little tension. Not everyone in the it state is rolling out the red carpet for the new arrivals. There's some serious tea brewing among the local residents who were there first. The popular kids moving onto the block are driving up house prices, clogging the highways, and changing the vibe that made these places special. There's a growing sense of drama as locals push back against the sudden invasion of out-of-staters. Is the price of fame starting to become a bit too high for the people who actually built these states? The tension is real, and the drama is only getting started. Now, let's get into the real tea. The stuff that actually makes people pack up their entire lives and rent that overpriced U-Haul. We have to talk about the tax receipts, because honestly, everyone loves a good financial glow-up. Imagine looking at your paycheck every single month and realizing that the state government isn't taking a massive, painful bite out of your hard-earned cash. That's the magic of the zero income tax allure. It's like a giant magnet for people's bank accounts, pulling them in from all across the nation. For residents fleeing the X's, like California and New York, seeing that extra 5, 8, or even 10% stay in their pockets feels like winning the lottery every single payday. It's no wonder people are ghosting their home states. They're tired of paying for a lifestyle they can't even afford to enjoy anymore. You're essentially getting a massive raise just for crossing the state line. And if the taxes don't get you, the real estate tea definitely will. This is where things get truly scandalous. Have you ever seen those videos comparing a literal closet in NYC? We're talking 400 square feet with a view of a brick wall and a suspicious radiator hiss to a sprawling mansion in the fastest growing state. It's practically a crime. For the same price as a cramped studio apartment in Manhattan, you can get a 4-bedroom house with a 3-car garage and a pool that looks like it belongs in a luxury resort. It's the ultimate main character upgrade. People are moving there and suddenly living like royalty, and you can bet they're posting every single square foot of it on social media to make their friends back home totally jealous. It's not just a home, it's a massive flex that screams, "I made it." But it's not all about the houses and the tax breaks. The job market is having a serious glow up too. It's like a modern day gold rush. But instead of pickaxes, everyone is bringing their laptops and remote work setups. Major corporations are swiping right on these states at an incredible rate, moving their entire headquarters and bringing thousands of high-paying jobs with them. We're talking massive tech hubs popping up in places that used to be known for cattle or citrus groves. This influx of business is creating a sense of momentum that's hard to ignore. If you're a tech bro or a young professional, moving to the IT state isn't just a change of scenery, it's a strategic career move. You're putting yourself right in the middle of the new economic engine of the country, where the growth feels unstoppable. Then there's the lifestyle upgrade that has everyone absolutely obsessed. There is a sense of unfiltered freedom that people are craving right now. It's the better weather, sure, but it's also the feeling that you have more space to breathe. People are ditching the cramped, high-stress, high-cost environments of the X's for a life where they can actually go outside without feeling like they're in a constant mosh pit. Whether it's the beach vibes or the big sky energy, there's a sense of possibility that's totally addictive. It feels like the rules are different here. Like you can actually build the life you want without a million regulations or toxic costs standing in your way. However, let's keep it real. Every celebrity has a dark side, and our IT state is no exception. We've got to talk about the hidden red flags that are starting to pop up behind the scenes. This rapid growth comes with a price of fame that local residents are feeling every single day. Have you seen the insurance hikes lately? It's getting wild out there. Between the rising property values and the natural risks, the cost of living isn't quite as low as it used to be. And don't even get me started on the soul-crushing traffic. Those once quiet suburban streets, they're now clogged with moving trucks and thousands of new neighbors, turning a 5-minute drive into a 40-minute ordeal. The infrastructure is desperately struggling to keep up with the massive, unending influx of people, and the locals are definitely noticing that their favorite quiet spots are becoming crowded tourist traps. The receipts are in the data. U-Haul reports show a massive one-way flow of trucks toward these states, and census reports are confirming that this is a full-blown movement, not just a temporary trend. Thousands of people are making the leap every single week, and the numbers are staggering. It's a demographic shift that's rewriting the map of America in real time. But as the costs rise and the new wears off, you have to wonder, is this paradise really everything it's cracked up to be? Or are we just watching the beginning of a very expensive new chapter? The drama is definitely heating up, and everyone is watching to see what happens next in this epic migration. Social media is absolutely losing its mind over this whole migration situation. If you spend even 5 minutes on TikTok right now, your For You page is probably flooded with those aesthetic move with me vlogs. These influencers are documenting every single second of their journey, from tiny overpriced apartments in the X's to massive new walk-in closets in the It Girl state. They make it look so effortless, like moving 2,000 miles away is just another step in their personal glow up. It's a curated, filtered reality that's driving a massive wave of moving FOMO among everyone who's still stuck in the cold or the congestion of their home states. Wherever there's a viral trend, the haters are right there in the comments section waiting to pounce. The backlash is becoming just as loud as the hype. Every time one of these aesthetic vlogs drops, the comments are a total war zone. You've got people calling the state overrated and claiming that the new residents are ruining the vibe of what used to be a low-key hidden gem. The haters are pointing out the humidity, the bugs, and the fact that a luxury suburb is still just a suburb. It's a classic case of expectations versus reality, and the internet is here for the drama. They want to know the truth. The political drama is reaching a fever pitch. This state isn't just a destination, it's a whole political statement. Depending on who you ask, it's either a shining paradise of freedom or a controversial hotspot. The he said, she said regarding the state's policies is causing a massive divide online. People are moving there specifically because they love the hands-off approach and the open for business energy, while others are watching from afar and calling it a total disaster. Every time the governor makes a move, the social media firestorm restarts, with everyone arguing about whether this state is the future or a cautionary tale. It is a massive debate for the nation. Meanwhile, the local perspective is getting increasingly salty. The original fans are feeling like they've been pushed out of their own lives. They're spilling the tea on how their favorite quiet spots or local diners have been turned into crowded tourist traps. They're seeing their property taxes go through the roof because of all the new development, and they're not shy about expressing their frustration. For them, the It Girl state's fame has come at a very steep price. Yes, and they're tired of seeing their peaceful communities turned into the background for someone else's viral TikTok. It is a tough situation for the original residents who were there before the hype. The meme culture surrounding this mass exodus is hilarious. The California to Texas or New York to Florida pipeline has become its own genre of comedy. You've probably seen the memes about someone moving from a shoebox in LA and being confused by the size of a grocery store, or the ones mocking the new arrivals and their constant complaints. It's a way for the internet to process the chaos of this migration, but beneath the jokes, there's a real sense of cultural clashing. It's like two different worlds are colliding in one cul-de-sac, and the memes are the only way to cope. The comedy is absolutely everywhere right now. We're starting to see a new trend emerge. The regret stories. I moved here and I hate it. Videos are starting to go viral, showing the side of the story that the aesthetic vlogs usually hide. People are talking about the moving blues, the isolation of being in a new place, and the realization that their problems followed them across state lines. Some are even packing their bags and moving back to the X's, proving that the grass isn't always greener. These videos are acting as a reality check for anyone thinking about packing. The drama is far from over and the receipts are getting very complicated. Wait for the very next part. So now that we've seen the glitz, the glamour, and those spicy regret vlogs, we have to ask the big, scary question that everyone is whispering about in the YouTube comments. Is this whole thing just one giant inflated bubble? Honestly, can a state keep growing at this absolutely breakneck speed without eventually hitting a massive wall? It is like watching a celebrity who gets way too famous way too fast. Eventually, the infrastructure starts to crumble under the heavy weight of the spotlight. We are talking about highway systems that were never meant for this much traffic, suburban schools that are now bursting at the seams with students, and power grids that are being pushed to their absolute limits every single summer. Is the It Girl state actually sustainable? Or are we looking at a massive historical flop just waiting to happen? Critics and the haters are already predicting a messy fallout where the cost of living finally catches up to the hype, and the very thing that made the state attractive, the affordability, simply disappears forever. If it costs just as much to live in Florida as it does in New York, will the new arrivals still want to stick around? And if that bubble does eventually burst, where on earth is everyone going to run to next? The internet is already scouting for the next big thing to replace the current shiny stars. If the It Girl becomes too expensive, too crowded, or just too much drama, who is the next underdog waiting for their massive glow up? People are already looking at places like Tennessee, Arizona, or even North Carolina as the next potential superstars of the US map. Could Nashville become the new Austin? Could Charlotte be the next Miami? It is like a never-ending cycle of migration where people are constantly chasing the next undiscovered gem before it gets ruined by the masses and the corporate giants move in to take over. Meanwhile, the X's at California and New York are watching this all unfold with a mix of bitterness and desperate hope. They are basically the ghost states left behind in the wake of this massive, messy breakup. Can they actually win back their fans with new tax breaks or better lifestyle policies? Or is the divorce final and the house sold? They are trying to pivot and rebrand, but once someone has tasted the freedom and space of the Sunbelt, it is incredibly hard to convince them to go back to a tiny, overpriced apartment and soul-crushing taxes. But wait, there is even more tea to spill. And this part of the conversation is actually kind of chilling. Let's talk about the environmental gossip that the real estate agents usually try to hide from the glitzy brochures. Can our It Girl state actually handle the natural drama that comes with the territory, whether it is the scorching, record-breaking heat waves in Texas or the monster hurricanes that keep knocking on Florida's door? The climate risks are a major red flag that many people are choosing to ignore until the insurance bill arrives. And don't even get me started on the water shortages in the desert west. Is the dream life really worth it if you are constantly worrying about the next big storm or a drought that could dry up your entire lifestyle? Some experts are saying that the price of fame for these states will eventually include a massive bill for climate adaptation that could bankrupt local residents. It is a reality check that does not usually make it into those aesthetic TikToks, but it is definitely something the new arrivals are starting to stress about as they unpack their moving boxes in the heat. This isn't just about moving trucks and home prices, though. This is a total demographic revolution. This migration is fundamentally changing the personality and the soul of the entire country. We are seeing a massive shift in culture, with different vibes, food, and traditions blending together in ways we have never seen before in American history. It is also completely shaking up the political map for the next decade. New voters are bringing their own own ideas and values into these states. And it is creating a whole new dynamic that is keeping pollsters up at night. Is the state going to stay the same, or will the new arrivals eventually change the very things they moved there for in the first place? It is a fascinating social experiment happening in real time, and the stakes for the future of the country couldn't be higher. So what is the ultimate question we are left with as we approach the home stretch of this migration saga? Is the It Girl state going to remain the undisputed king of the mountain, or is there a massive scandal brewing behind the scenes that could stop the growth in its tracks? We are seeing the tension rise between the locals and the newcomers, the infrastructure straining like a giant rubber band, and the costs climbing every single month. The hype is still real for now, but the cracks are starting to show on the surface. Will the bubble burst into a million pieces, or will the state find a way to reinvent itself one more time to keep the fans happy? The drama is reaching its absolute peak, and the final chapter is about to be written. You won't want to miss how this story ends. At the end of the day, we have to sit down and really look at the receipts to decide once and for all. Is the hype surrounding the It Girl state actually real? Or is it just a brilliantly marketed fantasy for those desperate to escape their old lives? We've seen the glitzy Move With Me vlogs, analyzed the tax breaks, and heard the groans of the local residents who just want their favorite coffee shop back. It's a classic American story, isn't it? The search for something better, something sunnier, and something that doesn't take 50% of your paycheck before you even see it. But as we've seen, the price of fame is very real. Whether it's insurance hikes, traffic jams, or power grid scares, living in a viral sensation is truly complicated. So what's the final verdict? Is it a paradise or a pressure cooker? The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. For the Gen Z influencers and tech bros, the glow up has been legendary. They've swapped their tiny apartments for literal mansions and built entire brands around their new lifestyles. They've brought that main character energy that turned these states into absolute powerhouses of entertainment and business. But for the original fans, the people who were there before the corporate giants swiped right, the drama is just starting. They're the ones dealing with the traffic and the feeling that their hometown is being turned into an overpriced tourist trap. It's a high-stakes game of musical chairs, and right now, the music is still playing at full volume. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you part of this massive migration? Did you pack your bags, hire the moving truck, and say a dramatic goodbye to your hometown? Or are you staying put and watching the chaos unfold from the safety of your couch? Maybe you moved and immediately regretted it. Or maybe you're currently browsing Zillow at 2 in the morning, dreaming of that zero income tax life. We want to hear the real tea. Drop a comment below and share your moving horror stories. Did the moving company lose all your furniture? Is your new commute actually a nightmare? Or tell us why your current state is actually the best one and why everyone else is missing out. Let's start a massive debate in the comments. The drama doesn't stop here. While everyone is looking at the current It Girl, there is always another scandal or viral trend brewing just around the corner. What is the next city that is about to go viral for all the wrong or right reasons? Is there a secret tech hub in the Midwest we should know about? Is there a small town in the mountains about to become the next influencer playground? The map is always changing, and we are here to track every single move. You won't want to miss our next deep dive, because rumors are already swirling about a new exodus that could make this one look like a small town parade. The internet never sleeps, and neither does the migration drama. To stay ahead of the curve, join our inner circle. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're the first to know when we drop the next big expose on the trends shaping our lives. We're talking about the juicy secrets that the real estate agents won't tell you, and the cultural shifts literally rewriting the American dream. Don't get left behind in a ghost state while the rest of the world moves on to the next big thing. Thank you for riding along through this 6-part saga of taxes, TikToks, and high-stakes real estate. It's been an absolutely wild ride, and believe me, we're just getting started. Keep chasing that sunshine, keep watching the receipts, and most importantly, keep questioning the hype. We'll see you in the next video for another deep dive into the stories that are actually breaking the internet. Stay curious, stay lively, and we'll catch you later.